Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to another Forex Power Hour. This is Marcello. Today is April 17th, 2014, and I'm going to do today what I've done for years, which is an analysis of the markets and evaluation of our biases, which are based upon the 5 p.m. Eastern Time close of our daily bars. All right. Thereafter, I'm going to tell you what trades we've been in, what biases we've had in the past, and that's about it. So let's go ahead and talk about how this works. What's our formula for success? So basically after 5 p.m. Eastern Time, we will do our market analysis to determine the bias. What is the bias? The probability that price will go up. Then we will have a buy bias if price is going to go down, or there's a probability, a high probability that price will go down, then we will have a sell bias. Very, very simple, very, very straightforward. Now what do we do with that bias? We execute it in two ways. We take a set and forget it trade. That's one way to play it. Okay, it's usually for a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-1 ratio in most cases, and sometimes you may get bigger win ratios there. Okay, but basically a 1-to-1, 1-to-2, sometimes 1-to-4 ratio, more or less, on those trades. Now, day trading is another way that you could play this bias. Okay, you can take a day trade in the direction of our bias using our pods. There's a points of decision. If you don't know what those are, just go to tryforex.com. We have a free course inside where you can absolutely learn what pods are and how to use them to make big profits in trading or bigger profits in trading. All right, so that is how we do things. So let's go ahead and take a look at the market. All right, so euro dollar. So I talked yesterday about price more or less being able to get back up to just about this 13900 area. We didn't quite get there. We got up to about 138.63, I believe is the number, and then we see price really just break downward. This essentially, guys, is still even though we have a very strong sell candle here, we still have this area of support that is held and has been recognized by the market. We need to see a breakthrough, a breakout here. So this is actually not as safe as it looks as far as the sell is concerned. We're kind of in a channel here. We've got this consolidation here, 1, 2, 3, 4 bars that are within each other, and so because of that, you know, you could easily get a bounce off of this and get price to move back upward. So I know you want me to tell you that price is going to go down, but we don't know that for sure. Okay, so that's a tough call. You think this would be an easy call? It's actually a tougher call. So I think inevitably price does want to go down. I think I'd have been more comfortable if price had come up to this 138.81 area, come very close to touching this area again, and bounce right off of my trend line. So I'm going to watch this thing and play it. I think that inevitably price does want to go down, but for the time being, we could very well, we've got to call this as consolidation. Now, if I look at the dollar Swiss and I see something completely different, then I may call something completely different there. But, you know, it's kind of on the line, on the fence there. So I'm going to call consolidation, and I want you to look at, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking at price action at 3,800. If I see the market come down to 3,800, give me a very strong railroad tracks hammer right on that 3,800 area, then going to the upside, then I'm going to believe that obviously there's a consolidation. I'm going to be waiting for price to really push up really, really hard. Okay, and that's really where we stand as far as this euro dollar is concerned. So it could be consolidation play. It could also continue to move down, you know, and so that's what I'm talking about. Really, you're going to know by this point of decision called this trend line. All right, this 3,800 area, 1.3800. Okay, moving right along. Dollar CAD. My call yesterday for the dollar CAD was a buy. Okay, you can see that price basically. It sold off a little bit and then it moved right back up. So we actually had a no occurrence day. There's really no real movement on the dollar CAD, and we did kind of come up here, hit our 50 EMA, and you can see that it stopped on the 50 EMA. Now we have 3 bars that are essentially within each other, so we also have consolidation on the dollar CAD. So look for a consolidation play there. Okay. So looking at my pound dollar now, that's juicy. Look at this dollar CAD. I'm sorry, this pound dollar, guys. Now this is something that I am interested in. Look at this. So guys, remember that we had this area of this trend line, and then we have this horizontal area of support and resistance was at this 1.6800. We had price go right up to 168.41, right to the Bollinger Band high. This is what this purple line is, and you can see that price closed right below our 1.6800. Now that makes my mouth water. It definitely looks like a sell on the pound dollar looking at this area, and we knew that, you know, over the long haul, if I can go back to the weekly here, you're going to see multiple touches at this area of 16800. The market just didn't want to pass it. So anything can happen, you know, but look, we've got multiple touches here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now 7 on the monthly, where this area of support and resistance has really held. So just for the time being, I'm going to be calling a sell on this. Of course, the market can do whatever it wants to. It can go right back up if it wanted to, but on the day, we've got to look at this and really be looking for a sell here. So, you know, we may get caught back in consolidation here, but it's really calling for a sell. All right, and if you look at it on the monthly, guys, really we are in a channel where, you know, it really wants to most likely come back down into this channel and then move up, and maybe we'll have a breakout as we get closer to the apex in this red zone, is like what I like to call it. All right, so I got to sell on the pound dollar. The dollar Swiss, you can see that it continues to move up. Still hasn't touched its 50 EMA quite yet. It's getting very, very close to it though, and so we did have real strong movement to the upside, just like we had on the euro dollar to the downside, and it looks like a double bottom almost here. And so we're going to know where price wants to go if it passes this 50 EMA. So I am right in the middle on that. You know, I'm going to look for price action at the 50 EMA here. 0.8846, so 88.50 as I've been calling. Look at what happens if the market goes up to 88.50 and gives you really strong reversal signs. It's more likely to come back into this range. If not, then we can see price really close above this 50 EMA, and then we can look for another stop at the 89.76 area. So that is our dollar Swiss. You've got to watch for it there. All right, so look at those consolidation movement here on the dollar yen. And we called a buy on this dollar yen yesterday. We've been calling buys on the dollar yen. I'm not sure exactly why all my lines are going on this chart here, but you know, we did get a close. Let's see, the 50 EMA is at 102.41. We got a close at 102.41. So once again, ambiguous movement here, not really telling us anything about price action or where it wants to go. Not exactly my cup of tea. I wish it were much clearer than that. It literally stopped right on the 50 EMA and hasn't made any movement, has no real movement there. Okay, so there's a couple things going on here. We do have nice trend lines that are formed here. And we can see price continue to move up and get to this upper trend line here. I'm looking at this on the weekly, and it clearly is an intentional consolidation where we are right now. We can see price move up, and we're getting close to the apex, not quite there. So really looking at the weekly chart, it's clear that price probably wants to go back up and touch this upper area. So you know, I don't like tomorrow per se, because, you know, we could see a pullback before we see price go up. Just because we stopped right on the 50 EMA, it's not really a clear call. All right, so now my New Zealand. Now, I called a lot of good trades, but this New Zealand really got me. We had a nice reversal candle. It was an okay reversal candle that was formed on the support area here on the trend line. We expected price to go back into this channel because this is where we've been for the last 2 months. Okay, right inside of this channel, we didn't expect price to go down. But we could see here, guys, that, you know, we've come down below the 23.6. We could see another day of sell-off here on this New Zealand. That would be telling, and that would be a real breakout on this New Zealand dollar. Or we could see price just come right back up, shoot back up into this channel, form nice railroad tracks. If it does that, then we're going to look for up movement from that day forward. We can get back to the upper side of this range, which is going to take us to 8,800 or to 8,900. So that's what we're looking at here. I think that price can come down and hit this 50 EMA at 85.34 and may bounce up. I am not clear on this New Zealand. It looks like I'm really clear about the pound dollar, and that's it. Aussie dollar looks like it's getting ready to, if we get more movement like this the next few days, we could see a reversal candle sell form, but we're far ways away from the end of the month, so I'm not going to call that just yet. Looking on the daily, we've had nice reversal candle, and we've had sell-offs, and we had a close below 61.8 fib area. We don't quite have. Nope, that trend line doesn't quite do it for us. We don't quite have support areas that we can go to quite yet on the Aussie dollar. So, we could get a drop. I mean, we could. I mean, it's kind of this is not really a clear break. We could have consolidation. Price could easily come back up. I'm not really clear about any of these at the moment. We did have a nice reversal candle right on 38.2 and a push down, but there hasn't been a tremendous amount of movement, so I'm not buying it quite yet, although I do see a possibility of a sell. Now, my yen pairs, my euro yen, has done exactly what I wanted it to. It really did come down, touch that reversal that trend line, like we thought, and did move back up. So you can see that there's a great deal of divergence between the euro and the euro dollar and the euro yen. Obviously, this is a yen-based pair or a yen-based move. So let me expand this just a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. Reversal candle right on the Bollinger Midband, push right through the 50 EMA, and look at this, guys. Comes down to the trend line perfectly and bounces right off it and heads up. Man, I'm telling you, this stuff makes sense. And you can see price really closed above the 50 EMA as well. So we are, guys, right in the apex. We're in that red zone. So we can see price hit up here and continue to move up, or we can see it really bounce off of this area and really break out. So we're looking for a breakout very, very soon on this pair on the euro yen. Okay, pound yen. Pound yen, same thing. We got price movement up. And there it goes. That is our support area. And you can see we've got 3 touches here on the resistance area, and we are approaching the very top of this at 172.80 on the pound yen. I called yesterday, as I called before, yen weakness. That's what we expected. Price moved up. We're going to see it probably most likely hit that 172.77 area, 172.80-ish, and then we've got to decide what we're going to see, what we expect to see from there as far as the pound yen is concerned. But from where it is, it looks like it's got clear skies and a clear path to get to 172.77. So we're at 172 right now, 171.99. All right, so that is pretty much my calls for Friday, which will be April 18th, 2014, and hope that helps a lot in your trading. I'm pretty much on my calls about 80 to 85% of the time, and I hope they serve you well in your trading. All the best, guys. I will see you back here on Monday for another edition of the Tribe Forex Power Hour. All the best.